You know who Richard Rohr is?
Hmm.
He's a Franciscan friar, father, priest, whatever the title is, and he does a lot of writing. A lot of his content is actually kind of in the space of universalism, which would be essentially like, how do the belief systems of the world actually relate to the teachings of Jesus? But regardless, he wrote this book called The Wisdom Pattern, in which he identified most of the world goes through this pattern. Most humanity goes through this pattern, from order to disorder to reorder. Exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow the disorder. You have to allow yourself to say, some of the ways I was doing things in the past are wrong, in order to get to that place of reorder and build up the new you that you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And to allow that is hard. And that's in some ways what we're talking about here. Whether it be a workplace, whether it be yourself, whether it be the church, whether it be your own belief systems and your relationships. It's continually allowing yourself.
You have to unprogram, what you've learned and believed about yourself. And for me, it was 40 years. 40 years of believing things that weren't true about me.
Yeah.
Did you unprogram and reprogram by yourself?
Yeah, I didn't go to AA or anything.
Did you have anybody in your life that kind of helped walk with you along those lines, or is it all isolated?
For the first few months, it was just me and my wife, who I really, she kept me accountable.
Yeah.
So you had your wife, yeah.
Somebody who I could talk to and trust, and somebody who, knew everything about me. At that point, she knew everything about me. But at first, I didn't want to, like when you asked how open I was about it, I'm wide open now, but at first I didn't want to be at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because of my work. I own a business, and I didn't want to run people off who might think, well, he's not trustworthy. He's not. But I've always been trustworthy. I've always, I'm always on time or early. I always overperform and
there's this fear of what
over deliver.
consequences.
When you just build that kind of relationship and trust with your clients, but I was concerned about losing the clients I had and not being able to gain new ones. And that was just more fear of me. That was just the devil saying, you can't tell anybody your story. It's not going to help anybody. It's going to hurt you. And so that's the kind of framework I had in my mind for the first few months. And then, if you ever learned about SPECT scans and your brain reforming from the neurotransmitters get broken and fried over time, depending on what kind of drug use or alcohol use, it's different. Well, there's holes in your brain, and over the first 90 days of sobriety, they start to reform new neurotransmitters, new neural pathways, and the holes begin to fill in, and that's
making a whole
that's
new
how
brain.
the whole
Oh wow!
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Neuroplasticity works.
I did not.
It reformats your thinking process, but you have to be consistent with it, which is where Atomic Habits comes in.
Yeah.
Because if you're not consistent with it over a daily basis, an hourly basis even, then your brain won't remap
You have to
into the new
work
you.
at it.
You have to continue, and that's what when everybody's like, yeah, you have to do the work, you have to put in the work, you put in the work to be sober. What does that mean?
Yeah, what is that?
And people don't understand what it means. Well, yes, you have to go to the gym for one, because your body and your brain are connected.
Yeah.
Your body, your brain, and your soul are all connected. All three. There's a reason there's a Trinity, and there's a reason there's the three things in your body that are all connected. And if one of them's out of whack, the other two try to compensate for the one being out of whack.
Oof.
If two are out of whack and one's trying to compensate, then you're overcompensating that one. You can't physically work out all of your mental and dietal problems.
Yeah.
You have to, your body and your brain and your soul, and you have to be in the Word. You have to be around people who are going to encourage you, and not people who are going to bring you down. And sometimes that means you have to end friendships that you've had for a long time.
Yeah.
And you just never really, you have to love them from a distance, is what my wife always says. And sometimes it just means if you want to be the new you have to do that work. And it's all three of those things. You have to read and learn. You have to physically do the work so that your body and your brain are exhausted and you can shut it down and go to sleep. You have to get good sleep. People don't even understand until they really start digging into it. And
it's all connected.